Hi, ladies. Welcome to another episode of the Femalepreneur Coach podcast. I am your host, Rebecca Barr. You may be watching this on YouTube. You may be watching it inside my free Facebook group. You might also be listening on my podcast. But however you are consuming this content and sharing this time with me today, I am super grateful and I hope that you enjoy it. Make sure you hit comment, subscribe, do all the things to try and help me to support more women. So I'm super excited to dive into today's episode. One thing I really want to talk to you about is essentially the big question when it comes to your business. What is it all about and why is it so important? It's something that I think when we're first in the beginning stages of our business, we're really good at asking ourselves all of these powerful questions around the bigger picture, vision, mission, goals of our business. Or perhaps you're not, and you just kind of fell into a business and it accidentally grew into something successful. That was certainly my journey. At the beginning of entrepreneurship, I didn't necessarily sit down and think, what legacy do I want to leave in the world? It was, how can I earn some money? And what is going to help me keep this party going, because I got 3 kids at home. It wasn't any of that bigger picture stuff. But typically you can be much better at the beginning of your journey asking these questions than when you've perhaps gone through a season in your business and you're perhaps looking for that next phase of growth. So wherever you sit at the moment, whether it's just at the startup stage or whether it's just scale up stage, one of the most powerful questions that you will ever ask yourself is why. And I know that asking your why is something that's kind of bandied about quite a lot. And it's very surface level stuff, or it might not necessarily be relating to your business. It could just be to life and your life goals and living in alignment and those great things. I have absolutely been obsessed with Simon Sinek's TEDx talk around why, knowing your why to doing anything is so powerful. So it's definitely a positive psychology intervention. But for me, as it relates to business, it is the key to sustainability, which is something that I just feel so passionately about as a coach, and definitely as a business and a money mindset coach. It's all about longevity and sustainability. I don't want to support women to grow a business that they cannot possibly keep going for the long haul. I'm all about the heart-led, legacy-based, sustainable and scalable business models that really feel good to you, that plays to your natural strengths and all the things. It's one of the reasons why I have created my new business growth academy, which is the Aligned, Empowered and Abundant Academy. And as much as I say that it's about business, there are elements that will definitely benefit you if you're an entrepreneur. There's actually quite a lot of the content and the principles and the spiritual practices and strategic overview that are going to help you whether you have a business or not. It's asking all of these powerful questions like why, that are really going to do that deep dive mindset work and spiritual work that will lead you to a life of fulfillment completely on your own terms. And that is ultimately what my goal is as a coach. For me, the line of sight and the conduit to living that life fully on your own terms, for me, is a no-brainer. It's having your own business, but it's not the same path for everybody. It could just be being in control of your finances and working with businesses that really light up your soul and really have a mission and a value that you can get behind. It could just be, they always say, so I read a book once actually around high performance habits, and it always says you need to love what you do, why you do it, or how you do it. So it could be the process of your business or your job that you absolutely love, or it could be who you're doing it for, as well as why you are doing it. But why it is important to be asking yourself this question today is kind of timely, because I just recently did part of my growth this year, part of my commitment is becoming more visible, and every time you do that, someone is going to have something to say. So the first thing for me about having a reason why it is important for your business, why you, why now, why do people need to work with you specifically, is because it really is something that you can then revert back to when the going gets tough, because inevitably it's going to at some point in business. And I've been tested many times as an entrepreneur, economic downturns, issues with staff, industry downfalls, footfall in the high street. I definitely had to deal with that in my barbershop and my retail-based businesses, as well as COVID, and just genuinely being a mother, being a woman, trying to juggle and do all the things and wear all the hats can be enough to really derail your attempts to do something good in this world. But if you have a purpose that is bigger than you, it it's really easy to get out of your own way and to keep coming back to the path when you have that North Star, that driving internal fire in your belly that is going to keep you moving forwards regardless, you know. So, and I always think, so one thing I would love you to do is really sit down and write and journal, you know, why is it important not only that you succeed, but why you, why now, and why this business? I think those are the three questions that will really transform you, but also really give you the resilience and the stamina to bounce back from setbacks, because it's not even about you, you know. And I think that's one thing I've always intuitively had, is that sense of purpose and passion behind my business. For me, my greater mission, and thing that drives me is that I'm here to make the world a better place, you know, genuinely, not just by being a light and inspiring other women, but also by practically being part of the change that I want to see in the world, which is more financially empowered and independent women. So that, because let me tell you, when you have your own money and when you have that financial security and your basic human needs met, because success looks different to everybody. And, you know, years ago, what I used to earn at that point was financial independence to me. You know, that did feel empowering. It meant that I could make decisions on my own terms. But when I look back at it now, I'm like, how did I survive on that level of income? You know, being an entrepreneur now, it's about having safe, predictable, reliable, consistent income that means that I can sleep at night, you know, as a parent, to know that my needs are met and that my bills are paid and that my kids are safe and all of the great things. And then obviously beyond that, it's about, okay, how now do I scale that, have more impact, help more women? Like, how can I use the energy and the leverage that I've created in my business? How can I now leverage that to amplify it? So success means very different things to all of us, but ultimately it's having that higher mission. So for me, it's about, like I say, supporting women to go out and create lives on their own terms. That for me, there's a very clear line of sight that leads from being an entrepreneur and being fully in your most empowered financial self to living life on your own terms. This means that when ego wants to play a part and keep me small and keep me safe and keep me hidden, I have to turn away from it and remove myself, take that part of my business out, because it's not about me, it's about the women that need my help. That's really helpful, actually. Having that connection to your why is really helpful, because it means things like imposter syndrome really don't stick around very long. It means that when you're scared about doing that next thing, that it's very easy for you to get back into just doing the damn thing, because like I say, it's not about you, it's about the women that you can help. It also means that I can create something that is truly unique, because ultimately it is not about me, what I think, it's about what everybody else needs. It's about seeing that highest potential, that highest vision for you, for yourself, for your business, for the world, that really helps you to start thinking outside the box and thinking creatively, bringing solutions to the table that aren't necessarily in line with what your industry is doing, or what other people, other competitors and other people that are kind of similar to you, what they're bringing to the table. It means that you are bringing something, and perhaps can be really innovative in the way that you do it, because you're just continually got that bigger picture vision, goals. You're not bogged down into the day to day. So not only is that great for the market, because it means that you can create something truly unique, innovative, like reactive and flexible, resourceful, and in line with what the market needs, but also something really innovative that hasn't even been created yet, that leaves us up to all this exciting possibility. And I'm sure that's where people like Steve Jobs, that really changed the game massively in industries and markets, is because they just had that bigger sense of purpose. I think it also means that you're more motivated. It keeps you in the game for longer. It means that business never gets boring. It's always fresh and exciting. It means that you will always have that bounce back ability when things don't go right. It also means you've got that inner drive, that can't stop, won't stop mindset. And that's definitely been something for me, that there's been many times where I've just thought over the years, maybe I should go back and just go back to corporate, do this one thing, shut down my social media, and just live this beautiful life in a little bubble. And as much as I can do that, and I've added boundaries and things into my life, that means that I can now do that and protect my energy, my space, the fucks that I give in the world. It's much more protected now. It's much more within my control. But ultimately, I have to keep going because it's about the women that I want to support. It's about my journey and the significance of that and how that fits into the bigger picture piece. I did not come this far to only come this far. And it's also given me a lot of peace around owning my journey and understanding that, yes, I might have overcome adversity and stuff in life, as will you have, I am sure. But ultimately, it's been leading up to this moment. It's part of that bigger picture, that bigger why, that bigger mission. It has actually brought me a lot of peace, that it didn't just randomly happen to me for no reason. Things aren't seemingly hard at times for no reason. It's because it's preparing me for something bigger and greater and what comes next. That's amazing for your mindset, where you can start to lean into these challenges, hurdles, and actually come from a place of gratitude that this is now going to make you a better woman, a better person. It's going to give you a whole new skill set that you didn't have before. Like, that's empowering. That's exciting. So it's about obviously having a sustainable business model, because it's not necessarily about the day-to-day detail. It's about that bigger picture thing. It will help you to build and create something that is truly unique for the marketplace, which is ultimately what we all need. It will keep you motivated in those dark times when you're tempted to slack off, lean back, maybe not do the thing, play it small, let your ego and your fear get the better of you. But also, it makes things easy in business. It really helps you to stay in alignment and flow, because when it is just an extension of that bigger, when you've got that vision of your why and why things are important, suddenly your boundaries become so much easier to enforce, because it's all about the mission. It's all about that higher purpose. Suddenly, deciding where to spend your time, what to say yes to, what to say no to, the things that you should be doing and the things that you shouldn't, although there's no shoulds, but the elements that you need to do and the elements that you don't, like, that all becomes very clear when you have just got that strategic overview for your business. And that, I think, is when you truly step into that CEO. But that's also when things get to be easy, because you're not agonizing about the tiny, minute details and everything being perfect and it all being about you. Suddenly it's not even about you. So it just makes everything so much easier. So I think if you were looking at how can I scale my business this year, but how can I do it in a way that feels really good, that feels really easy, that feels like an extension of what I would be doing anyway, whether I was paid or not paid. It just feels like me on steroids in a really great way, and people are paying me. Like, this feels amazing. It's about bringing yourself back to those cool questions around why you, why now, and why this business. Why is this so important to you? Those are going to be the most powerful questions that you ask yourself today that are really going to drive your business forward this year. So if you are looking for some strategic support to then grow the answers to those questions, how you can lean into them, then I would love to invite you to come and join me inside my brand new academy that is launching at the end of the month. It's called the Aligned, Empowered and Abundant Academy. This is for you if you want to up level your abundance in all areas of life. This is about having more alignment, more visibility, more clarity on what it is that you were uniquely here to do. And if you have a business, how you can then use that as a conduit to that, but also how you can be more abundant in all areas of life. How can you welcome more money, welcome more joy, welcome more love, manifest more of the good stuff into your life. And then also how you can fully step into your most empowered future self. So those are the principles that I will be sharing with you inside my brand new academy. If you would like the details, I'm going to pop the link in the show notes. And I hope to see you there, because ultimately this is my why I do what I do, why I put myself in the firing line, why I step forward as a leader within my industry, why I want to be the change that I want to see in the world, and why I want you, if any of this has resonated with you, to join me on that journey and also be that vehicle for change. So I hope you have a fantastic day. Today was just a short episode, just answering the questions that are kind of on my heart as I'm moving through those processes. I've always said that I will be fully transparent in sharing that with the women that are in my community. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I look forward to hearing in the comments what your reason why for your business is in the comments.